I don't know, man. It's just neat having cool people on the show that really can share. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be one of the coolest interviews we've done because Bryan and I spent a little extra time just talking. It's not always just about business and money and success. It's about the impact you have on this little planet and how you best get along and how you help other people. And we got some great discussion, and it makes sense why Bryan has been so successful. But welcome, please, Bryan Clouser, the owner of Real McCoy Body Worx. Bryan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I enjoy it.
I tell you, we had a little pregame. We have a little pregame prep, and sometimes we get it carried on and go on. But since we have our own studio, nobody's kicking us out of here.
Yeah.
And we can talk for as long as we want. First, let me get a shout out to our sponsors, and a lot of people do understand that there's great sponsors that support the stuff that we do here, and it's neat because I've been running around in St. Louis for quite a while now, and you get to know some of these people like on a personal level. So Brooke Dubman, I've just known for years, and he's such a. And I said to him, "Hey man, I'm starting this new show. Would you like to be a sponsor?" And he looked at me and says, "When do we start?" You know, and that was really cool. So give it up for Carol House, Brooke Dubman, his sister there, Amy, and if you need furniture, they're absolutely the place to go in St. Louis. Everybody pretty much knows that by now, and they've been around for a long time. Also, then you need furniture, but when you've got your furniture, you need to have a nice house, and most people don't buy their house cash. They say, I think we're going to buy the house with a mortgage, right? And so I'm very fortunate now to have partnered up with USA Mortgage and the Steve Flowers team. You can see that on there on the screen behind me. But Steve is dynamite, as you can see over my shoulder right there, right? And I've known Steve a long time from playing baseball and just a good guy, and got to know him. And I said, Steve, here's what I got going on. And he's like, let's do this, man. Let's go out and help some people. So shout out to those guys. That was a good intro. And it did work out, I think, because I love talking about our sponsors and our guests. But I'm going to put on the wall here this pretty good looking website you got here, Bryan.
Well, thank you.
And you've done most of this work you've done yourself.
My son was an integral part of this
for the family.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, there it is, everybody. The website is Real McCoy Body Worx with an X, WORX.com. And I'm just pretty excited to have you on because I see the work that you do, and it's just really neat. I mean, how many people, the number one asset everybody has, they talk about is their house. The number two asset they have,
that car.
Is that car. Tell us, Bryan, if you would, why did you decide to get into the auto body repair business? Is that the right terminology?
Yeah.
Auto body repair.
Collision repair industry.
Repair. And,
I got into it for the passion and love of cars at a very young age, and the beautification of them. That beautification took me into the collision repair industry. Once I got there, I was like, this is amazing. You would take something that is almost destroyed and you're bringing it back to life, and you keep bringing it back to life. And it became my passion. The harder they would get hit, the more intriguing it would get. And then it just kept developing, growing, and you do one, you do two, and I'm hooked. I love them.
Well, with 40 years now in the industry, being an expert, somebody who's done this since, I guess you did start doing this when you were in your teens.
I walked off a graduation row in 1985 and went to work the next day. Didn't even get to recover from graduation, and it's been line drive from there.
This interview, I want you guys to really dig into it a little bit, because it's not just about the business side of the world. It's about being a successful, happy human. As Bryan and I got to really talk about what life is about. We don't talk about that a whole lot, but that's really what a job and a career is, a major component for that, so that you can provide for the family and provide happiness and help other people and train technicians like you do.
Yeah.
I mean, and really have an impact. So that's what I was most interested in when we really got talking about it. Here's a guy who really gets it, right? Somebody understands what it's really about. And I think that then turns around, and tell me if I'm wrong, but that is what attributes to your success.
Success is what you've achieved and what you've accomplished. It's not a financial thing. It's bringing a technician from nothing up to something, and years later finding out, that this technician has moved on to this and this and this, and they become great, people. And they've all started out, some of my finest technicians have started out of school, are out of Rankin Technical College, and we've honed them and brought them into not men but body men, and they've become very, very successful in their own rights of what they have accomplished, and we're very proud of that.
Well, Bryan, I mean, that's the essence to being a real contributor to this little planet. I think when you not only can provide for yourself, but then when you can help other people to provide, that's what you kind of get to enjoy to do. Is that true?
Very much so.
All right. Let's talk a little bit more about the excitement you've got going on specifically, because it is neat that you've got a successful business, but we'd like to know what are some of the things that set you apart. And that's one of the questions I always like to ask somebody. What do you do that really makes the difference? If you're going to be the best, you got to do things that you do better than anyone else. And we've talked about a number of the things that you do that are exceptional. And let's talk about a few. I wrote a few of these down as we were chatting. And talk to me a little bit about these. First one, you have the iCar Gold certification. And what I understand, that's something that really exclusive. It kind of sets you guys apart.
It does. It sets not me, but other shops that have that iCar Gold class. And it's just a standard. It's a standard that everything's measured by, and it's a way to signify to the customer and the consumer, hey, look for this iCar Gold shop, and it means a lot more than what you think. It means that these guys have been tested rigorously in welding and every aspect of the repair industry to make sure that they're putting a quality mark on what they're doing, and they do know the difference between right and wrong.
Really important stuff. Another point you made to me, that a lot of people assume that when they are getting a car worked on, that, well, I got to go to the shop that the insurance company told me I need to go to. And that is not at all the case. I thought maybe it wasn't necessarily, but there's kind of the impression people get.
Yeah.
But not at all the reason.
It's built in there, but it's your car. It's your choice. Be confident in your shop of choice. Know their ratings. Know their quality. Word of mouth is always good. Don't let somebody say, hey, I've taken my car here. This is quality stuff. This is a good place to go. And then allow somebody else to tell you, you have to go here. You don't.
Yeah. And I guess another point, and I didn't even write this down, but you made such an impression on me when you pick that shop because it's the one you're comfortable with.
Yes.
And you don't have to go get three estimates
No.
from three different places. To me, that's like, I don't have time to do that.
No.
I want to go with the guy I know I can trust and prove it. We'll talk about your reviews that are amazing. And so then it's just like, if I'm taking an hour and a half to go do this, but I do that times three. That's 3 more hours. That's a lot of time.
Time is valuable these days. Very valuable.
Right. And so tell me, that's something a lot of people don't realize as well.
Go to the place that you choose. Get an estimate. Sometimes you don't even need an estimate. Just call your claims department, get a claim number, a contact person. We'll handle it from there. You'll be able to drop your vehicle off. We'll get the claims process going and get you in and out the door way faster than taking the time out of your busy schedule, your busy life, getting these estimates and following that procedure. There's faster ways. Way faster.
Yeah, well, today especially, we're in such a high-paced society. You'd even mentioned to me that there were times when you've met people at the scene of the accident.
Yes.
And they said, can you come to the scene?
Yeah.
That's the kind of service you provide.
Yes. We'll go wherever you need us to go. Send us pictures. It's a fast-paced world, so, I mean, if you have time, there's apps out there, and we can have your photos taken close, far away, VIN number, and we can get you pretty close to a solid estimate just from that.
Well, yeah, and I know that. Wow, I could get into a whole discussion about that. When they start talking about pictures, at what point do you send those to the insurance company? Everybody's always wary of dealing with the insurance company. I guess you help people to do that because you're really on the side of the client, right?
Yes.
The customer, the person who needs the car fixed.
That's all we worry about is that customer.
And you know how to deal with the insurance companies. Somebody's been doing this for 40 years. That makes, talk a little bit about that and why that's so important.
The customer is always the top priority. That's who we work for. The insurance company is who we deal with. And you need to make sure that you have everything set right for a great experience on repairing your vehicle, because it's horrible from the start. You know, you've wrecked your car, you're in a bad situation there, your second largest investment is nearly destroyed. Make sure you have all your ducks in the row. Make sure that you're getting the proper insurance for your vehicle. Let's make sure that you have OEM riders, that you're getting original equipment put back on the car. Not so much wait to the end and go, hey, can you make sure I got OEM parts on there? Talk to your agent about that. Let's make sure we're going to get them OEM parts put on that car, because that is the start to making a quality job.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even. That was another point we got here. The OEM right. A lot of people. What is original equipment manufacturer?
Yeah.
And I dealt with that in the computer world. And who made this part originally? And
Exactly.
it was remanufactured in some.
You don't want that quote unquote counterfeit, part,
But explain a little bit to people why that's so important, because I mean it seems pretty clear, but just make sure people understand.
You have OEM and you have aftermarket. Aftermarket would be the counterfeit to the original, the real McCoy.
Right.
You want that. You want that back on your car. That's how your car, the specifications that panel or that part was built with, you want that back in that car. So let's guarantee that quality part back on that car. And it helps us as far as fitment and the longevity of that part. So we really like to use that. And that gets into the estimating process. They say go get a couple estimates. The estimate's not important. That's just a guesstimate.
A guesstimate, right?
We can't look inside that car. We can't tell what's going on inside that car and behind that fender. So all we can see is what's on the outside. And there's a lot of things as far as photo estimating now with the insurance companies now, where you'll get an app and you'll take pictures of your car. That's just a starting point. It's an estimate. It's a guesstimate of what's inside of it. Nothing really matters as far as that estimate, because I could write my thoughts, you could write your thoughts, and you compare them. They're going to be different. Somebody could leave something off of an estimate and it's cheaper. Now, are you really shopping for the cheapest estimate? Because now you got the cheapest estimate that might be missing something. So really don't even focus on that estimate. Right. Let's focus on the quality of the repair, and then that's the only thing you really need to focus on. The rest is...
Yeah, it's kind of like, let me just give you my little analysis without even really being able to dig into this thing until you hire me, right? And then I can show you, okay, here's what it is. But so that people understand, if I'm right about this, once you've found there's more damage or other things, you can go back to the
insurance company, and get what it takes to bring that car back to its original state.
Good, and that's what you want it to look like.
That's what matters.
I'm going to jump into a couple other things here, but I want to talk about, we'll come back to a couple of things on the list as I go down the list here. I noticed you have some reviews that are amazing. I've seen people out there all the time, and they've got 3s, and that's when somebody like, what happened there? You got 4s. Sometimes you've got a perfect 5.
Yeah.
And that I was like, I had even had to ask you before the show, how do you think it is you managed to do that? Because you literally go the extra mile and make sure everything above and beyond. It's kind of what you said. Explain that for me a little bit.
It starts from the beginning of the job to end of the job, and for the lifetime after the job. I attribute all it to my technicians. Those are the guys that build the quality into the car that gives me the quality product to deliver to the customer. The rest of it is customer service, going the extra mile. If the insurance company says this is the insurance standard for the way to fix this car, but better is possible, good is not enough. So we go that extra mile to make sure everything is taken care of on that car, and then some. You got a little ding, or you got a chip that needs touched up. Let's go that extra mile and do that. Let's make sure that car is cleaner than the day you brought it into us. It's all them extra little, let's go the extra mile on this. Let's go the extra mile on this. And through the process, you're like, oh, why are we doing this? But then in the end, it's beautiful, and that reflects in the reviews. That reflects in people's thoughts and opinions of us. I always say that I like to stay humble. It's not my place to tell me how good I am, but the reviews speak, and they tell you how hard it is. Nothing in this world is ever going to be perfect, and it's the same way with the auto body industry, but it's going the extra mile to make sure that we are the best we can possibly be. And if there is something that paint, you can always have a chip here, a chip there. later on down the line, let's get that back in here. Let's get that taken care of. Let's get you back to the original state again.
Great stuff. Look on the wall behind us, everybody. This is our studio TV wall here. You can see that Real McCoy Body Works 5.0. That is 153 reviews. I'm going to put this on the screen for everybody to see, bright and shiny for everyone. But so now we're off camera, but they can still hear us talking. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to go ahead and go over here and take a look. I want to scroll down here. And I didn't tell you I was going to do this, but I don't have to search for long because every review is the same. They're all 5s.
Yeah.
So if it's all right with you, I'm just going to read 1 or 2 of these off to someone.
Great.
Is that all right? Scroll down here a little bit. One review, it added a photo to it. There, that's nice. I took my 1989 Firebird formula to Corey at Real McCoy for some paintless dent removal on the doors and fenders, plus full exterior. The car turned out amazing, and the pricing was fair. Corey kept me updated each day on the progress with pictures and texts. This car was passed down to me from my dad and is my baby. I will definitely take it back to Real McCoy for any work I need in the future.
Thank you.
Is that good? All right. So I was like, I just randomly picked that. People think I staged that. I did not.
And that car was a pleasure. The customer was a pleasure. All my customers are just, they still call me for advice or whatever in their automotive needs. And we have a large family that work with us to make sure that these cars get done. And people can call us for references to anything and everything. Hey, I need, an interior detailed. Hey, I need an alternator change, whatever you have going on, or need a question about your car, call up,
Well, I'm looking here. I've got so many pictures that there it is. It was off the screen. Normally, ladies and gentlemen, our clients we just go out and research what we find for them. But Bryan, you did a great job of sending us stuff.
Right.
And so we have a long list and the great stuff. This gentleman.
That's
really
Corey.
Looks like that's what Bryan.
That's
so
Corey.
we were talking about Corey in that review. That is Corey on the screen. I'll take off the title we've got up in front of that so we can see the full thing here. But yeah, that is your son doing his job. Mm-hmm. And we didn't even talk about this before. There's so much to talk about running a business, but it sounds like he brings you some business too from saying, hey, they come in for dent repair, which is kind of separate from auto body, but they work together well because you got to do this. But he's becoming an expert, kind of following Dad's footsteps a little bit, but kind of a niche part of the whole. And
business. we work good together, and we share the repair process.
Let's talk about those couple tips. One of them you talked about is we talked about the OEM.
Yeah.
But the other big one is the car rental. And a lot of people, they just like, I don't need extra. Give me the least amount I can pay every month, and it's like an extra $6 to get. If anytime you have a car that's down and you need a rental car, you don't have to pay for it out of your
Exactly.
car. And it's kind of crazy not to have that. Why do you say that?
You wreck your car. What's the first thing you think? How am I going to get to work tomorrow? Stress levels here.
Yeah.
Get your car into the shop.
Right.
Have a rental car. Whew, I'm up and running. You might lose a couple hours of your day getting that rental car, but man, you're going. That takes the pressure off of you worrying about your car, and it takes the pressure off of us. Let us get your job done. Let's not get rushed. Let's not sit on the time schedule of, I need my car back. I need my car back. You do need your car back, but you need your car back right.
Yeah.
Let's get you comfortable. Have that rental car coverage. It's not a costly endeavor to add that to your insurance policy. Get that rental car coverage, and it helps. It helps ease all the pain. Yeah.
All right, you can see on the screen there, everybody. Real McCoy Body Works, 636-464-4140. 636-464-4140. RealMcCoyBodyWorks.com. As I read that, and I'm thinking about something else that was kind of interesting we talked about. The hat, the shirt, the name of the company. Real McCoy. And a lot of people, I know many people do know what Real McCoy means, but for those who aren't familiar, I thought that was really neat. And it didn't even occur to me. I'm like, Real McCoy, that's kind of a cool name. And as we talked, I'm like, wait, that's a very important
it's a very important phrase.
And kind of goes with the American culture with regard to that's the real deal, right? Explain what the Real McCoy really means and how that ties into what you do.
The Real McCoy, it's the best. It's the best it can be. It's the original. And I'm not saying I'm the best. By no means. There is so many technicians out there that I think are great and amazing technicians. I watch them on YouTube channels. I see them around the areas, and I'm like, man, that guy knows what he's doing. That's good work. That's good work. And this isn't so many quality shops out there, and there is a ton of quality shops out there. And we just like to be the best that we can be, and we want to be that quality level that everything's measured by the real McCoy. This is the standard. This is the quality that we're looking for. And that's why I stuck with that name. It was what I wanted to be, the original.
And yeah, just the real McCoy means you're getting something that isn't an imitation. It's the real deal. That's really cool. Wow. Let's show a little bit here. I got, as is often the case, everybody, you can watch the full interview on our YouTube channel, the Your Little Castle channel on YouTube. We do sometimes a 45, sometimes an hour interview on ABC. 28 minutes and 30 seconds of that will air. And then, Bryan, we're going to give you the clips that we'll make for you out of this interview, because I want people to see these individual tips that you have for everybody and share those with everybody that are with you. Share with everybody. Talk a little bit about you've got a Facebook page that actually is a great representation of the business, because on that page you can tell you put some work into sharing what it is you guys do. And talk, if you will, a little bit about does business come in from your social media? Is that where a lot of people do learn from you a little bit? Or
let's face it, social media is the hub of the world. The hub of the world. Okay. You can just find anything from. I find myself looking at cars that are in Dubai, and auctions they have in Dubai and stuff. And we're just a small little imp in that thing, We like to post what our guys are doing, frequently. Different things, different aspects, because a lot of people like to come in the shop sometimes and just look in the window as they're in the office and watching the cars get working. They're very fascinated with that. And I like to open a little bit of window up to the world of what we're doing. Some people look at it that, it's a rough and crude business, but man, it creates beauty out of it, and bringing stuff back to life. And I like to show little segments of that on social media every once in a while, and the changes that we're making and the employees and what they're doing. And
well, and it just seems like the social media has taken over the world. I mean, I know that when I was first getting into this, and Google was such a big thing, and I worked for Google's biggest partner and became one of their top representatives in the country. So I thought, well, I mean, I know this stuff now, I'm good at it. And so this Facebook stuff, it's kind of a joke. And now I'm like, wow, Facebook and social media and Instagram really is taking over, because that's what people are paying attention to. Television has been there for a long time, but now it seems like it's migrating to this whole online. So we'll give you these clips, put these on your social media.
Yeah, and we do a lot through Facebook and social media, which is attached to, Messenger and stuff like that. And we communicate a lot with our customers through that. There could be somebody that asks a question that's widely on social media. Oh my God, I just wrecked my car. Does anybody have any recommendations? And then they can recommend us through Facebook, and we can reply back to them and set up an appointment, and they communicate through, instant messaging and stuff like that. It's just every avenue that we can stay in touch with our customers, future customers. We like to do that.
Let's share with everybody your Facebook page a little bit, and I'll bring that up and talk about anything you'd like to there. But one point I wanted to make about your Facebook page, because you've obviously spent some time setting this thing up and getting it to where everybody can enjoy it. There's those reviews again, and that's from Google. And I talk about when you have those kinds of reviews, that's impressive. There's not too many people I know that can say 5.0. Good work on that. But as we go on here, and a couple other things that we can definitely share with people a little bit. I've got so many windows open for you because you had so many different good things to share with there. That's good. Real McCoy Body Works LLC, right there. That's the fan page. I'll put that on the wall for everybody to see, and we'll do a little scroll over there so everybody can see that. But talk about why you like what you're sharing there on your fan page. And you've also got, we'll look at the reviews, but a 5.0 also, 45 reviews there. Good work. But why do you like this fan page? You got 1,300 people that like your page. That's good for a small business that's got so many followers. Talk about your fan page a little bit, if you like.
This is just the outlet sometimes, showing people what you're doing, staying connected with them. Sometimes I'm so busy that I can't really stay connected with, you know, classmates that you had and friends and family. My gosh, sometimes I get more connected with people on here than I do. And I like that it shows the evolution of where I started off with the company and the evolution of where it's at right now, and just neat projects and cars, and always giving shout outs to everybody on here, veterans, and we support them. We keep a flag flying in front of the shop all the time. I like looking at that every day.
Yes.
She's there every day,
That's beautiful. Yeah, I tell you what, good old American theme that how much do we have to be thankful for with this country and the veterans. I really appreciate it. I worked with a number of veterans organizations and charities, and boy, those guys really put on the line for us, sacrifice and the ultimate sacrifice, like you said. So it's cool that you pay tribute to
that. First responders, man, I worship these guys, and if there's anything I can do to help them out, you want to talk about, some people, is there any discounts or anything? Man, dude, I'll give you the world, but I'm so appreciative of you sometimes, and I admire them. And we do a lot of work for our local community as far as our first responders there, directly to, the municipalities and things like that. And very proud to do that. Very proud to do that.
Important stuff. All right, everybody, thanks again for tuning in. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Body Worx, the real McCoy, realmccoybodyworks.com. Bryan, a great guest. I'm going to put on the screen up here one more time for everybody to look at your website, because you did a good job there, and you've got such great information. I'm using some of my shortcuts. There we go, and I can hit buttons to get there as we scroll through the different. And that's a cool setup you've got there to go with that. That shortcut I know goes between the pages. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And great looking place you're in Imperial, just a few minutes south of St. Louis.
Yeah.
Servicing probably 10 or 20 miles outside of that, all around.
Yes.
People probably come from all over the state with as good a reputation.
We have had them come from far distances. Yes.
And once you get that reputation for doing it right and doing it right the first time, very cool. All right, everybody, thanks again for tuning in. This is the Your Little Castle Show. Stay tuned for more. We've got a lot of upcoming shows that are going to be very exciting. You can see all of our past shows out on yourlittlecastle.com or on our YouTube channel, and check out our Facebook as well. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you guys all again very soon on our next show. Giddy up.